All right, we are live streaming. Let me make sure it comes up. Make sure the audio is working. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. All right, here we go. All right, good deal. We're up. We're running. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the artist Andrew speaking, and we are live streaming. And once again, you are joining us for the Hero Hour. And I'm here with my good buddy Avery. How you doing, Avery?
I'm all right.
You're all right. And Kodiak's in the wings right now. He's on mute right now, but hopefully he'll chime in and we'll hear his melodious voice momentarily.
Oh, yeah, Kodiak.
Evan's here. Hey, Evan, how's it going, man?
What's up?
He said Dillard seems crappy.
Oh yeah. I stopped in to say hi to Dillard.
Oh, cranky, not crappy. Well, I said hi to Dillard too, and then you said I'm gonna go pick on Andrew, and I went, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I have a very special peep show for you all this evening.
See, that's why I have to pick on you, because you do dumb shit like I'm gonna do a peep show. It's like nobody likes the peep show. Just you.
My son was out and about yesterday and saw something, and he texted me, says, Dad, I got something for your peep show.
Oh.
And I'm like, my heart was just overflowing with the love that my son is slowly trying to kill me with sugary snacks, but he's willing to help, and he saw something and it just screamed me. He bought me marshmallow unicorn poo. Artificially flavored. I can't wait to try this. It's unicorn poo. And here's the thing.
They took a way to make, they found a way to make it gay.
The question is, does it smell like unicorn poo? That's the important thing.
Ask a brony.
Oh, so I'm not sure if we did this on stream or not, but Monday night, Kodiak and I are talking, and I was talking about how I was trying to come up with a new name for the world that Hero lives in, and I started Googling, like, what is the Latin phrase for furry, and there actually is a word that means furry in Latin, and
I wouldn't do that.
It has nothing. It's one of these really weird words that it just as a name it just doesn't work. So I'm still looking into something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we were talking about how I think one of the greatest comic book character names of all time is Thanos. And the reason is Thanos is literally the Latin word for death. And the whole purpose of the character is that he's in love with death. His whole thing is about pleasing death. And then when I learned that in Latin, that Thanos meant death, it just blew my mind, you know? But
I learned that too, but not from taking Latin. It's just, it's out there.
I know.
From reading the comic, you don't have to endure.
Well, no, I mean
class.
The Latin.
Oh wait,
word,
never mind. You probably really enjoyed Latin. I'm sorry.
The third year I did, not the first two.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do some drawing this evening. You know, just for the heck of it, you know. So.
Horrifying.
We are drawing furries, just so you all know.
Camera's blurry. Oh, there it goes. Kinda.
It'll fix. Oh. Well, the other camera I've got going is crapping out on me.
Oh, Andrew, what are you doing, man? This is unprofessional.
Everything's freezing now. Isn't that great?
Hey, Kodiak.
Hey.
When I saw you in Winger's chat the other day, I had just come in there, and I haven't been able to catch many of his shows, but I caught that one, and I walked into some weird, they were listening to some video that was in German. You couldn't see what was going on. You could just hear the conversation, but apparently some dude's mother caught him with a stuffy, and this dude's like a furry or something, so he was doing stuff apparently to.
What?
I was like, what degeneracy is this?
Oh.
It was hysterical. Winger's channel's funny, dude.
Yeah.
Tosspot says, "Hail Fur Campaign." Hail, my
Hail!
friend. That's right.
Hail Tosspot, what's up, man?
This is why he rose so quickly, is because people realized how, he also collects the people very quickly,
Yeah,
the names to yeah, I like him a lot.
yeah, he's hysterical. That whole group was funny.
That kind of makes I must have come in actually after you or something. I don't know.
Yeah, after me, yeah. You had
I
just
missed
missed
all that.
yeah, you had just missed something really disturbing because it was all in German, but it had subtitles for what was being said, and you couldn't see it because whoever was recording it was like pointing at the back of a computer or something. And the translation is like, oh my god, it was rough.
More disturbing than the Peep Show.
Way, but funnier than the.
Oh, goodness gracious.
What? I mean, it's not hard to be funnier than you.
No, it's not. It's not. What's so funny is there's not a lot of people out there that try. So,
How's the weather? Didn't I just beat you? Way funnier than you.
yeah, if you say so.
You're Andrew.
Yes.
Not funny.
I know I'm not funny.
Funny looking. I had this whole bit that I was gonna.
Oh, thank you, dear.
And today's just whooped my ass, so I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
every time you're not here, I get scolded for cussing. But when you're here, he never says anything about cussing.
Yeah.
No. That's not true. That's not true. If the segment that we're doing, I'm going to end up speeding up into a separate video and adding music behind it, it doesn't matter. Like he said shit earlier while I was doing a drawing. That's not
shit.
The audio for that is not going to be in the video. If I'm doing a peep show or a comic review, that is going to include the audio. So I ask you not to curse during those segments.
Oh shit.
So get it out of the way now because nobody's ever going to hear it.
No, I'm holding one fuck back for later.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, you notice how I can get away with derailing his cringe more than the other people can too.
Yeah. You can, yeah.
Yeah, that is.
I remember.
True.
Somebody's at the door.
Who's there? Oh, Cross is here.
It's the Canadian.
Yes, the Canadian here.
What's up, Mr. Cross? How you doing, man?
Not much yourself. I just thought I'd come in.
Yeah, I did it right before the show. I wanted to check on your campaign, see how it was doing. I mean, so far so good. You're only like what? You're only like how many days are you into it so far?
2 or 3.
2 days, and you're 13% there. I mean, come on, that's a good start.
Yeah, for sure.
We just need to get the word out to everybody.
Yeah. Need people who a lot of people who I thought would have bought by now have yet to buy. So.
Well, I haven't put mine in yet, but it's coming. I gotta wait. I actually have to wait till tomorrow, so it's just a availability of funds thing. So.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Well, I started on Tuesday, so not the best day to start on. People don't probably have much money to spare, but hopefully this weekend or next weekend it'll go up a little bit.
Well, we're definitely going to help push it for you. As a matter of fact, everybody, if you have not, go check out the Canadian Shield on Indiegogo. This is Rick's first campaign, and he's got a very modest goal, and everybody should give just a little bit if they can. We really appreciate it. Rick's a good guy, and we highly recommend. Oh, geez, I just realized I screwed that up.
Oh.
And, I think Evan put the link for it in the chat.
Oh, fantastic. D Loves All Things says, "Shput." And Nightwalk Wears says, "Hello, everybody." And Evan says, "Rick, why the hell are you tagging Dean Cain on Twitter?" Uh-oh, what's that all about?
Why not? It's a Christian comic book. He's a Christian, so...
Do you know Dean Cain?
No. But then again, I don't know the president of the US of A, and I tagged him too.
Oh, jeez.
Dean goes under a sock puppet account, and he's in Mike's chat a lot. So.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Yeah, that's old school. I forgot about that just because it's like with all the stuff that's gone down, I've lost all cares in the world. If it's not funny and it doesn't make me laugh.
Yeah.
No.
But I'm gonna tag lots and lots of people over the next couple of months.
Yeah, just don't piss anybody off,
Well, what's the
That
worst?
too. I'm not even caring about that because I can't say left without the people on the right. Not well. That sounds political. That's not what I mean at all. It's just like I could say, man, I cut my finger today, and somebody's gonna get pissed.
Yeah.
My
Well,
jokes today are gonna be off. I'm sorry, guys.
The thing
It's
is,
okay.
I'm just saying, please support my campaign or check out my, my book on Indiegogo, and I tag a whole bunch of people, and I put the link to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's nothing, quote unquote, offensive, if you will. I wouldn't think so, anyways.
Well, the worst they could do is just ignore you.
Yeah.
If it works, it works, man. Dude.
Yeah. You never know. Somebody might see it and.
Best case scenario, all of a sudden we turn on to Cross Channel one day, and Dean Cain's sitting there in a Superman shirt, plugging his book. So.
Oh yeah, I'd love to have
Lois
Dean.
Lane, she was fine.
I'd love to have Dean Cain on. I'd love to have a lot of people on my show.
I saw Dean Cain recently on he was on the news or something, doing something like a spot on Fox and Friends or something. I mean, I don't know if he's becoming a broadcaster or what, or if they just had him on for something or other, because whoever he was sitting next to, whoever it was, I'm not sure who it was, but they were asking questions of the person who was on guesting video chat and all. And I was like, what's Dean Cain doing there? It's like, I didn't understand, but it's what happens when you're not paying attention to the whole story.
Yeah. Nighthawk's in the chat, and he's asking how I am. I am good, Nighthawk.
Yeah, man, we're all great, man. It's Friday, No matter how much I like my regular day job, my 9-to-5 job, I still look forward to the weekends. That doesn't. Well, that kind of looks okay. I don't like that.
And sorry there was no auction last night, guys. I was on FanSpeak, and I think I forgot about that because I was planning on going on ERTs afterwards, or hoping to. And I got on there for a bit, so.
Dude, I'm out anyway, so.
Cross promotion is never a bad thing.
What was that? Did you say you're out of the auctions?
I'm out of being able to do art anyway for a while, so it's no problem for me.
Okay. You get a job or?
I'm looking.
Trying to focus. AC Moore got bought out by Michaels, and the one over by my house is one of the stores that Michaels isn't keeping, so they're shutting its doors. So everything.
Really?
Yeah, everything is 50% off. So.
Ooh, interesting.
I have.
Do you know what? Avery, this is for you. Guess which local bookstore business has put up a going out of business sign, closing store?
I don't know.
Our Books A Million.
Oh yeah.
Which doesn't really surprise me,
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I went in. They've just begun. I was going in specifically looking for Legos, because even at 30% off, getting Legos at 30% off is not a bad deal. They emptied out all their Legos.
Yeah.
All their Legos were gone. They probably took them to another store just simply because, they hate giving people that. So
I was over there and I saw that because I just got rid of my mom Wednesday.
Just got rid of her?
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh, that's so nice.
Like I love my mother. She's a very nice person.
She is. She's wonderful.
Except when she's staying in your house.
No. She'd been here for like 2 weeks.
Oh,
it's like bye.
Yeah, my sister, my oldest sister, is one of my favorite people, but it was exhausting having company, you know. So
Well, you're
having
not.
family over, you're on you can't walk around and scratch your butt in your underwear, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Sure you can, but
exactly.
Now,
yeah,
if I
well,
started doing that, she might start doing that, and then it goes downhill from there.
Nighthawk, I think you got me confused with Andrew.
what's that?
He says, "Hey Cross, did you find any more of those Lego DC minifigs?"
No, that's me. And no, well, I know where they're at. I'm not willing to pay the price that they have them. Actually, Mike told me he went by the Lego store, and they have them there as well. I asked him how much they were, and he said he didn't check that out. So at least I know of two places where they're at. But Michael's wanted $5.99 a pack, which is outrageous. So I'm not going back to Michael's. I'll wait till they get them at the local Walmart or Target or whatever before I pick up some more. But I'm definitely on the hunt for them because those figures look fantastic. In case anybody wants to know what we're talking about, go check out one of my most recent videos where I showcased the two figures that I got for the Disney superhero line. I mean, the DC superhero line for the new Lego minifigs.
Shut up. Jesus.
Avery, I've been saving that Crystal Creature Mega Construct set just for when you're on my show. So we'll do that. We could do that tonight if you like.
It's a wonder you didn't save one of those egg ones.
It is one of those egg ones. It's exactly one of those egg ones.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
Avery knows what it is. He was there when I bought it.
Oh, sounds fantastic.
Actually, he was encouraging me to buy it. He's like, yeah, do it. Buy it for your show. It'll be fantastic. Oh, maybe that was just the conversation I was having in my head.
Yes. You have a lot of those, I think.
I have many, many, many conversations just in my head.
Should this be something we're concerned about?
No, not yet. Not yet. You should only be concerned if my head actually responds back to the questions. So.
Yeah, but you say you're having a conversation, so.
Yeah.
And you're pretending one of the people is Avery. So.
Dude, the Avery that is in my mind is the most encouraging person I know. He does nothing but say, Andrew, that's a great idea. You should do that.
I am encouraging when you have a good idea.
No, in my head, you tell me that all the time.
Yeah, right. See, way back in '96, he told you had a great idea.
No. There's been times we talked back when we used to talk about doing a book where I would do the art. He would come up with an idea. I'd be like, I like that. I don't like that. Let me think about that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's good. That I don't know. Let me think. That sucks. But all he ever heard was that sucks.
That's not true. I heard the good stuff too.
Uh-huh.
But all right. So one of the things I'm planning on doing is this is Pang, a character who is introduced in book 3 of Hero. I kind of want to change around his costume, his clothing, and I'm just playing with different ideas of things to do.
You just want to see how things pang out with him?
Rick, I'm so glad you're here. You know, you are fantastic. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. He comes from a culture that's very Chinese, Japanese oriented, and I had him in part of the story where he's traveling with Hero and Pudge. He's kind of just in like this robe type thing, and I wanted to see if I could add some texture to the robe and see if it worked. And I may have to go back to the drawing table, but I think I'm happy with how it started to come out. So
you're glad? So it's panging out for you?
So far, it's panging out for me. Yeah.
Oh. Is that the correct usage of that?
Of pang?
Yeah.
Well, pang it's either Japanese or Chinese for friend. So.
Those two things are totally interchangeable.
What? Pang and friend?
No, Japanese and Chinese.
Oh.
Considering they have a long history of hating each other.
Yeah, well. All right, guys. I've got a stack of comics I absolutely have to share with you all.
Well, technically, there's not even a Chinese language.
Guys,
by share, he means never mind.
And it's probably all stuff within the last 10 years that's awful.
Well, and he won't let Kodiak talk about it. He wants to just fly through them.
All right, guys, it's a small stack. Just be nice to me and let me do this, okay?
No.
Because, all right, there is one in here. There is one in here that I've never seen before in my life, and I saw it and said, "Oh my God, I've got to buy this, and I've got to share it with the guys on the stream because this is what comics is about nowadays. You know, this is what it's all about." So, hold on a second, Andrew. Just don't eat anyone anymore. Whatever, dude.
I like the first one. Don't eat anyone.
Nighthawk Warrior says, "So Cross Comics, are you going to draw or show any Canadian Shield art? Show us the comic." I don't think he's printed the comic yet. Have you, Cross?
No. He means show us the comics. Those comics you're going through. He said, "Show us the comics, not comic."
Oh, all right. That's all right. Nighthawk Warrior, you're okay.
Learn to read, Andrew.
Yes, yeah.
Get those glasses.
That's right. All right, so here's the stack of comics that I picked up this week. This is stack number 4, I think. There's some gems in here, but there's one particular one that I'm very excited to show you guys, just simply because I don't know, it's crazy. This is issue number 3 of We 3 from Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, who I think Frank Quitely is probably one of the greatest comic book artists in modern comics. He's a fantastic artist. He's a fantastic illustrator. He's great at storytelling. He's great at drama. He's just the full package. So if you have a comic or you've seen any comics by Frank Quitely, it's probably the best you've ever seen. That's just my opinion.
I'm not into him.
You don't like him? Oh, I love his stuff. I think he's great. Got an issue of American Carnage. This is from the Vertigo relaunch recently that DC did, which eventually got canceled. But Leonardo Fernandez on art is pretty fantastic. I like his stuff. So actually, I think I have the first 4 issues. My brother-in-law gave them to me. So we got A Man Without Fear. This is part of I believe this was a limited series. I don't know. The art inside looks pretty good. Yeah, it's Daredevil. The art inside looks pretty good, so worth checking out.
Yeah.
Got a random Captain America issue. This is a Butch Geist issue, number 610.
I think that's from the Heroic Age.
Yeah, yes, it is. Avengers number 500. This is Brian Michael Bendis and David Finch. Whatever. Actually, there was a bunch of new Avengers stuff really close together. There was issue 16 with McNiven on art, 15 with Frank Cho on art, which, by the way, Frank Cho draws a very nice
80.
Captain Marvel from the back. That's definitely not Brie Larson. Then we got a couple of Finch issues. This is issue number 13 and 2. And then another one of these really great Deathstroke the Terminator covers by Mike Zeck. Fantastic. I'm looking for any of these because this is a really good time in Deathstroke.
I've got a few of those.
Yeah, I got a couple issues from the Jim Lee run on Superman. This is issues 205, 206, and 207. Another issue from Mike Millar and Duncan Frago's MPH. This is issue number 3.
Does that stand for miles per hour?
Yes. We got Fantastic Four number 561. This is one from the Brian Hitch era. I got a couple of these. This is World's Finest Superman and Batman. This is from the New 52. Got issues 28, 29, 30, and 31. There's some really good covers here. The inside art is actually done by, who did the inside art? Jeb Daughtry. I don't think I've ever seen him before. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. And let's see what else we got here. Got New Avengers number 1. This is when they relaunched it with Brian Michael Bendis and David Finch. A couple issues of Swamp Thing, issues 157 and 158. And I swear, when I looked at who the artist was, it said Philip Hester, and I thought it was somebody else. The art's okay. It's not who I thought it was.
It's not Phil Hester's best.
Yeah. Check this out, guys. Samurai Penguin #1.
The fuck?
Have you ever heard of that?
I said pho.
I saw this cover and went, "No, this is my kind of book." But
Avery,
the inside,
your pang word.
the inside is very.
What the Kodiak?
It's very very, very indie comics, weird, but I've never seen this before. And I saw it and said, I've got to get this. I've got to share this with you guys, because otherwise you'd never know this existed.
Yep.
Samurai Penguin.
It looks very Japanese. It looks Japanese anime.
Come up with a good one. Come on, Rick. Come up with a good one for this. I'll let you think about it. You think about it. Looks a little cold fishy, doesn't it? I'm just kidding. I don't know. Random Fantastic Four issue number 359. Rebirth Error Super Sons #9. This is a great title.
Is Art Bear on that one, or
which one?
Super Sons. He was supposed
Super
to do
Sons? No, he's not on this one. Got an issue of Battle Angel Alita. This is issue Series 1, Part 4. I think I actually have a copy of this already in the store. So. Violator #3 with Greg Capullo art. Check this out, Avery. This is Iron Man Annual #8 from 1986. It's got a Walter Simonson cover and has a crossover with X Factor. That's pretty cool. Now, the interior art, not so much, but...
well, it is 80s, so...
It is 80s stuff, but the idea of this is really cool to me.
If it had Walter Simon's interior,
it would be.
That's one of the problems with the 80s Iron Man, and they look great on the cover, but inside it was kind of meh.
Yeah, the inking's not that great in this one.
Well, cover art is always, I think,
it's always it's always lying to you. Always lying to you. You got a random issue of The Boys, issue number 69.
But I mean, they really pump up, the artwork and all that,
Yeah. Astonishing Werewolf #20. Astonishing Wolfman #22. This was an interesting series when it came out. One of the things I always think is interesting about this series is that the first issue was part of the free comic book giveaway, so everybody could get the first issue for free. It was really cool. Yeah, Avengers #0.
Not for the creators.
Well, they got paid something. The comic book stores actually do buy those books, but
yeah, for like 25 cents. They're like 20, 30 cents.
Got Avengers 0 from 2015. Black Canary #9. Like I said, the Black Canary, I've got a strange feeling people are going to start looking for her books. Mira, Queen of Atlantis #2. This is a 6-issue limited series. I'm going to try to... I think I have a couple issues of this already. I'm going to try to put together a set of that. I got some random Fantastic Four issues. This is number 14 from the Matt Fraction era. I thought this was a Bagley issue, but I guess it's not. No, it's not. That's okay. Iron Man Enter the Mandarin, issue number 3 of 6. This is Eric Kaneda. I had a set of these at one point, but I sold the set, so I'm trying to put together another set. This is Justice League, The Dark Side War, Green Lantern one-shot. Turns out there were more of these. I have a couple of them already. But this one is got Doc Shaner on interior art, and he's pretty good. I really enjoy his covers when he was working on the Terrifics and so forth. But this is very cool. Very good to see him do interiors. Here's another Fantastic Four, Bagley Error, #9. Hey, look, it's Warlord, number 92. Look, I got it right the first time. And here's a strange thing. Remember where last time I showed you guys
No
video? I had got an issue of Silver Sable that was signed by Steve Butler. No. Turns out I found another one signed by Steve Butler. So
issue 2, I think that is too.
Yeah. So, interesting. Batman Confidential number 40. This is includes art by Sam Keith and.
Wow, that looks
Avery,
broken.
I don't know if this is any.
That is a very strange way to make Batman look.
Well, it's definitely Sam Keith-ish, but it's not great Sam Keith. Yeah. I got a random issue of The Punisher, issue number 15. 2 of 3 for Blackest Night Batman. Picked up another McFarlane Spider-Man, issue number 7, the one with Ghost Rider. So that's great. Another copy of Punisher War Journal number 9. This is the Jim Lee Black Widow issue. I think I have a copy or 2 of this in the store already, but I mean, it's fantastic. Another Warlord issue number 66. An issue from Nexus Legends. This is issue number 4, featuring the awesome Steve Rude. We got Green Lantern Corps number 213 from back in 1987. Random issue of Fables number 106, which if you've never read Fables is pretty fantastic. Infinity 8. This is one that I actually got like the first 2 issues of, and I really liked it. This is one of Lion Forge's series, and the art on the inside was interesting. It's very European. It's very European, but it's one of those things that sometimes it'll grab you, sometimes it won't. We got a Monsters Unleashed number 5 with art by Adam Kubert. Yeah. And this is weird. I didn't know this existed. This is a Nightwing limited series from 1995. This is issue number 404, and it's got Greg Land on interior art, and this is non-tracing magazine. Yeah. Greg Land, and it's not good, but it's
and he made us. That's why people thought he was tracing, because he made a very rapid leap.
Oh, yes.
It wasn't like progress. There are people who draw photographically realistic.
Yeah.
There are, but there's like progression. He made a
and it was extremely obvious. But this is early Greg Land, and I mean, it's not horrible. But for the 90s, this was probably the most popular style, was this kind of style. But yeah, I'd never even seen this. I wonder, I'm assuming the rest of the Limit series was also done by him, but this is very interesting. Anyway, that's my new stack of comics. It'll be in the store this weekend if anybody's interested in any of these issues, especially Samurai Penguin, which, Samurai Penguin.
Sam Uriah Penguin? Who's going to be
it's so funny. On the back, it does have a solicitation for issue number 2. Guys, if I find issue 2, I'm going to have to pick this up.
Yes, there is an artist named Sam Uriah.
Samurai. Actually, the artist on this is Mark Buck, who I've never heard of.
But his name starts with his last name starts with an A. His name is Sam Uriah. Is a Y.
Sam Uriah. Oh, okay. Very cool.
Well,
I know because I got one of his checks by mistake back when I was working for White Wolf.
Oh.
Years ago.
Was it more than your check was supposed to be?
They were around the same amount, and they never sent me mine.
Did you send them back that check, or?
I was told to destroy it.
Oh, okay.
Because it was an accounting mistake.
Whoops.
It had my address on it, because back then, when it was White Wolf, like the original owners, it had your address and everything on the check.
Yeah.
So it had my address, but Sam's name. And I contacted the art director I was working with at the time. They said, "Oh yeah, just destroy it. They'll reissue one." Blah blah blah. I never got paid for that job.
Well, that's funny. When I did that job for Action Labs, they screwed up and sent me the wrong. They were PayPaling me the money, and they sent me the wrong amount. And it turns out they paid me what the inker or what somebody else was supposed to get, and they corrected it right away. But I mean. Yeah, even small companies like that can screw up.
Yeah. Andrew, I've got a comic that you've probably never seen before.
Oh yeah, is it a Canadian comic? Is that why?
Yes and no. It's the Amazing Spider-Man number 4, but I think that they only did so many of these, but they're set in Canada, all of them. Number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5. This one happens.
Chaos in Calgary, right?
Yeah, I've got 1, 2, and 3 and 5 as well. So,
you know what? I'm going to look it up right now and find out how much it's worth. Is it in good condition?
Yeah, I've actually got 2 of these. These are doubles. I've actually got another one.
Right.
All right, hold on a second.
I gotta go, man.
All right, man. You're working tomorrow, right?
Yep.
All right,
I gotta
man.
Go.
Get some sleep.
A headache anyway. Later.
I hope it's not because of me.
A little bit, but no, mostly not. Mostly not. Mostly it's just allergies. Later.
Yeah, that too. All right, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, and it just has the Canadian price on here. $1.50 Canadian at the time. Value for.
Is it Chaos in Calgary?
Yeah, Chaos in Calgary.
All right.
Now, not all of them have the Chaos in Calgary in it because there's I think.
Oh, that's not actually. Oh, yeah. Well, here it is. Amazing Spider-Man Chaos in Calgary. It says it's a one shot, number 4. Got a picture of it here.
Yeah, although I don't got the. This is a double 2. This is number 2, I believe.
Oh, it says here previously was called Amazing Spider-Man Hit and Run, and it continued as Amazing Spider-Man Deadball. So it was a series of one shots. So.
Yeah, but they put 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. It's a one shot. It's a one shot that's numbered 4.
It says here that number 4 is worth in 9.4 mint condition $3, which is pretty standard. Yeah.
Could be double the value. Although I don't know. How much is it in the worst condition?
Nothing.
This is number 3, the hit and run one. But I've got number 1. I've got number 1 and 2 as well. This one, this is again a double. I've got the better one in better condition.
Yeah, hit and run's worth the same price. So, and the one before that one was Amazing Spider-Man Double Trouble was number 2,
which I've got.
And Amazing Spider-Man Skating on Ice was number 1.
Yeah. I'm not sure who drew the cover here.
Oh wow, the cover for the first one, Amazing Spider-Man Skating on Ice, was McFarlane.
Well, that sort of makes sense. Sort of makes sense since he's a Canadian.
Yeah. I was trying to see if these look like they might have been reprints even. So.
This book was sponsored by Petro-Canada to support the Right Riders Bicycle and Safety Program in Canada.
Yeah. D says, Canadian Spider-Man, kill it. Hey, Trusty, how's it going? Welcome to the show. All right. Well, guys, it's time for everybody's favorite segment. Oh, wait a minute.
No, don't eat anything.
Guys, I got to do this. My son went out and he saw something for me and he said, Dad, this is specifically for you and the Peep Show. And it is marshmallow unicorn poop. And it actually says poop. It doesn't say crap or shite. It says poop. So,
just stop pooping on us.
Well, let's see. Serving size is 6 pieces. I'm not eating 6 pieces, guys, just so you know. About 2.5 servings per container. That means there's 12, 15 in here. This bag does not look like it has 15 marshmallows in it. I'll be damned if it has 15 marshmallows in it. We're going to open this up and find out for sure.
You're going to count?
We're going to count them all. All right, guys. Here's the big test. Kodiak, I'm doing this for you, okay, man? It's the big test. This is the smell test. Let's see if it actually smells like unicorn poop. Oh my God, it does! Oh my gosh, this is.
I just got a question. How do you know what unicorn poop smells like?
In my mind, I know exactly what unicorn poop smells like, and it's heavenly. Unicorn poop smells like turds from heaven, and that's exactly what this bag contains. Turds from heaven. Now, it's the taste testing time.
What's your favorite reference for turds from heaven? Have you actually had some turds?
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm going to actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There is not 15 in this bag. I've been ripped off. I have got to complain to somebody. There's only 12 of these things in here. Oh, God, they smell great. All right.
Well, you know what that means? That means you take it back. Oh, can you take it back after you eat one?
Yeah, probably. Look at this. Isn't this cute? It's a little rainbow turd. Marshmallow turd.
Your sound went out.
Yeah, I know. I muted it for a second to try to tell the wife to turn down the TV. It was really loud. But, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Okay, somebody need.
I wish my turds looked like this. I wish my turds looked like unicorn turds because they're so pretty.
You know what you should do? Dip one in chocolate.
No, I don't need to do that. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Andrew ate turd. Andrew ate poop. No, we can all say he ate poop.
Actually, I was going to say it's light and fluffy, but it's not. It's actually very, very tight, very much compacted, almost like unicorns have a constipation problem, and when they actually do finally poop, it probably explains the color, because it's so tightly wound. Honestly, they just take like marshmallows. Okay, the truth is, unicorn poop tastes just like marshmallows. They smell heavenly, and if you ever find a unicorn and you can get their poop from them, I'm sure they'll give it to you freely because they really don't need it. Go ahead and taste it. Let me know what you think. Rusty says unicorns need more fiber in their diet. Yeah, I think so too. Is this not adorable? This is the most adorable thing I've ever seen. Oh, it doesn't have a resealable package. Oh, crap. I hope nothing bad happens to my unicorn poop. All right, guys. That's enough torture for one night. No more torture.
Well, that whole thing just seemed real shitty.
I'm actually keeping that in. That's staying in. That's staying in. Rick, that's a good one. So, Rick, tell us a little bit about the Canadian Shield. Let's promote your book a little bit.
Yeah.
How much? Oh, well, let me ask you a couple of questions, and we'll get off on the right start there. How much of the comic do you have completed at this point, like a percentage wise?
Dillard is just doing the last couple of pages in going over my inks and all that. In fact, I think he said he's only got less than a page to go, so those got to get back to me. And Pope Raven is in the middle of coloring it. He has all the pages except for the two Dillard has, and then I've got to get them, maybe go over some coloring stuff with Pope Raven to, couple of the pages that I got back. I want to see a little bit more dynamic or a little bit more color broadening.
Now I see you're doing an illustration right now of the Canadian Shield. Is that Salamandroid behind him?
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's definitely a way of cross promoting is draw somebody else's character in with yours. That's very good.
Yeah, I did one of Canadian Shield and Titan. At first.
I see that. Yeah.
And then because I got finished it fairly fast in that stream, I decided to go on to another character, and I decided to do Salamandroid. But I'm gonna probably finish this off stream, or I'm gonna go on Twitch and do something with it, because people were wanting to see stuff for the Canadian Shield too. So I've been starting to draw layouts for the Canadian Shield too. And I've got like up to page 6 already. So
okay. Well, back to the Canadian Shield. Who's your main bad guy in the first issue?
There is no main bad guy. It is
It's an origin issue, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because
Okay.
mine has always been my stuff's been meant to be ongoing series.
Right.
Because, that's when I started developing stuff. That stuff was really popular. And I think it's good, to have an ongoing series. That way, you're not one shot and done, or,
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
So we got a question from Nighthawk Warrior. He says, so how many pages is the Canadian Shield?
Currently, it is 24 pages.
Okay.
If I happen to get up to 25 grand, which I slightly doubt at this point, I plan to, Nighthawk.
Okay.
If I get up to 25 grand, I'm gonna add an extra 8 pages, which will basically be the origin of Toxico, who is the villain in the second issue.
Okay, excellent. Now, I noticed that you have 2 covers on the Indiegogo campaign. I'm assuming one was by yourself and the other was by John?
Yeah, John Dillard.
Fantastic. So what is the Canadian Shield's secret origin? Or how did he get his powers, his abilities? Was he born? Is he a mutant? Was he an alien from another planet? Tell us a little bit about him.
None of those. He is.
So, in other words, I'm a bad guesser. Then is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes. He is a Native American from the early 1800s.
Okay.
He is transported to present day. He lived in the Hamilton area when he was in the 1800s, but he's transported up into northern Ontario where there's no real technology or whatever around.
Okay.
Because, I didn't want to give him culture shock, transporting him from downtown Hamilton 200 years ago to downtown Hamilton today, It's
Well,
bad enough.
It's a good thing you took your fictitious characters' feelings into consideration. So, well, while we're on it, let's go ahead and let me share the Indiegogo page. Give me just 1 second. We'll check and see where it's at. All right.
Last time I checked, it was at $275.
All right, so it's currently at $275, which is 13% of its fixed goal of $2,000. It's only been going for just a couple of days, so it's still got 27 days left, and I think Rick's already told us that he will extend it if need be, right?
Oh, well, it's going to be extended for sure, no matter what. And then, of course, as long as I make my money, it's going to go in demand. I'm not sure for how long. I might keep it in demand even for a bit after I've actually got the book printed and shipped to everybody.
Okay, very cool. Well, I wish you all the luck, and everybody out there, if you get a moment, go over and check out the Canadian Shield on Indiegogo. Throw a couple of shekels towards our good friend Rick here, and help him make this dream come true. Like he said, this is the first one of many, and got to get it over everybody's got to help push it over the finish line, and I think you've got enough goodwill behind you that I think you'd be able to do it. So I think
the great thing is the first 8 issues are already written.
Very good.
What's the campaign at again?
He's only got it going. It's only been going for just a couple of days, but he's at $275 so far.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Hey Todd, how are you?
Hi.
What's new and happening? You missed all the cringe stuff. You missed the comics. You missed the Peep Show. You missed Avery.
Oh, I missed the Peep Show. No.
Well, you haven't done the plate yet, so.
No.
Guys, I was saving this other egg for Avery, and he had to go because he has to go to work. But if you guys are here, I could do it. I could do the egg for you.
Do I need to leave?
No, you don't need to leave. I'd rather keep you here. Oh, do you want to see what the Peep Show episode was?
Sure.
My son found me marshmallow unicorn poops. He's looking out for me, man. He's looking out.
Poop.
Poop.
I'm totally sending you something, and I'm going to dare you to eat it on camera.
Okay. Avery was talking about something that had jalapenos in it, and I'm like, oh, that's so scary. But Todd, I got a comic for you. I don't think you've probably ever seen before. Samurai Penguin.
I've never seen that before.
You've never seen that? Is this not fantastic?
What
That's
year?
awesome.
What year was it made, anyways?
Oh yeah, let me check.
It looks like a mid '80s, '88.
It was printed in camera, so you already know it's nasty. It's horrible. It was distributed by Bud Plant. Oh wait
88?
a minute. Let me see.
'86.
Hold on, I'm getting there. Yeah, 86.
Boom!
Yeah, very good.
I could tell from the printing style.
Oh, guess who it's printed by? Guess who the company is?
Marvel?
No.
Slave Labor Graphics.
Oh.
They were big in publishing some.
Has slave labor been around that long?
I guess so. I don't know if they're still publishing nowadays, but I mean,
I think they are, aren't they?
Well, maybe. I think they go by SLG now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Samurai
cool.
Penguin.
How's the artwork? wait. Let me say that, Todd. It's an indie book from 1986.
Oh,
so what you're telling
Warriors.
me is that it wasn't secretly drawn by John Byrne.
No, it was not.
Okay.
It was not. I also found a early issue of a Nightwing limited series by Greg Land before he started tracing magazine photographs.
Was it good? I've never seen that. So you're saying there's a reason he started tracing magazine photographs?
Nighthawk Warrior is saying, "Bring out the plate, bring out the egg."
No, that's not fair.
He thinks it's an egg-some idea.
An egg-some idea? Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Not a good idea? Well.
It's not a good idea. It brings horror and terror to small children in faraway villages.
Actually, guys,
we're not very enthusiastic over it.
Rick is trying very, very hard this evening. So what we'll do is while I play around with this slime covered egg, we can talk about all other stuff. I won't spotlight my video so that you guys don't have to be tortured with it. So
this is the girl line, isn't it?
This is the girl line. This is the one I've been looking for a while now. When I found out that they were making a girl line of these, I was like, I absolutely have to get them because you know what's so funny is I actually told my son because we have all of Series 1, all of Series 2, and all of Series 3, and we just started Series 4. And I asked him, I said, is it time to start taking some of these to the store? And he's like, no. He doesn't want to let them go.
Why? Are they that good?
He just really likes them. All right. This one.
So now Andrews plays with girls' toys. Do we have to be worried about him?
No.
I've been worried about them for years.
Let me see who this is. This one is Rose Stone. This is the. Oh wow, it's a deer. It's a
dear.
Oh,
this could get ugly.
Yeah. This one's actually kind of cool. I'm looking forward to putting this one together. So, what's new and happening, Todd?
Well, I just got back in town late Wednesday night. So yesterday was my first day back.
Oh yeah, how's the weather up there, by the way?
It's nice. It's a little colder, but I love it.
Is it snowing?
No,
really? Mm-mm. Not yet. It's January.
Well, it might have snowed before. I don't know. I haven't been here.
Oh. Yes, Nighthawk. It's a toy in an egg covered in slime.
Yes, it is.
Or goo or whatever.
Yeah, and you have to finger out all the parts. It's just weird.
I don't know why you guys say it like that. It's not weird. It's ingenious.
Yeah, especially saying fingered with a girl's toy.
See, has anybody else noticed that Rick is focusing on that one part of the story? You know,
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
I just still have to cringe this for you.
Well,
it's not the activity that makes it cringeworthy. What makes it cringeworthy is Andrew's fingers.
Well, Kodiak was complaining a little earlier that I snapped at him on my last live stream because he cursed, and I
Where
told
the hell
him,
is Kodiak? I see his avatar, but he's just not there.
Yeah, he's on mute right now. He's probably beating some kids or something. But what I was saying was that there are certain segments of the live stream that I cut out, and then I will remove the audio, and I'll speed up the video. And oh man, this is just really gross. Then I'll speed up the video, and I'll add music or whatnot. But yeah, so this is one of those segments in which I will dub over the audio. So if you guys actually dropped an F-bomb, I mean, I don't want you to, but if you did, I wouldn't tick me off as bad as if you did it while I was in the middle of doing a comic book view, you know?
It's just a weird, I respect the ingenuity, but it's just it's probably the weirdest toy I've ever seen.
Well, for a guy or for a kid, for a little boy, it's fantastic. This is like a dream come true when it comes to little boys' toys.
But the pieces are so small, like it's a choking hazard, so it can't be that young.
Well, I mean, I'll look at the thing in a second. I don't think it's not that young, but it's. My kid's 26 and he loves these things.
Yeah, I know.
But when I first found out that they were doing a line for girls, my first thought was girls are going to hate the idea of pulling the pieces out of the slime. But then I realized there's a lot of girls nowadays that would think this is the most fantastic thing they've ever played with, you know?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, your daughters would love this.
They would eat it.
They would stick their hands in there and they'd be like, ugh.
Yeah, Julia would absolutely love slime like that.
Yeah,
and then she'd say gross, and then she'd play with it for a while.
Yes, she would.
Yeah. But no, man. So we got back. Yesterday was our first day back. Today was my first day back in the office, and I just kind of looked at a monitor all day and drooled. You know, like that post travel.
Okay, here's the big travel related question that I need to ask you.
Okay.
How many hours did you spend in the car on your trip?
On the whole trip?
From New York to Florida all the way back. Yes. How many hours did you spend in the car?
Probably 40, if I had to guess, like 40, 45.
You spent 2 days of your vacation in a car.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be more than that since you had to go back that way too?
Well, no.
Yeah, it's not 2 days. It would be like, I mean, technically it was 4 days. Because, you know, you're
well
12, you know, something like that. It's like 12 and 10 or 14 and 12 depending on traffic.
Yeah, but still that's a lot of hours. Well, whenever we would drive up to New York, it always took us about 24 hours to get there, making break stops and all that. Yeah. So I literally, of my vacation, spent 2 days in a car, you know?
Yes, you did. But it was fun. And those are some of your fondest memories.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely love going up to New York and visiting my friends. But now I take an airplane.
Yeah. Well, I have 2 kids and they don't want to be I don't want to be on a plane with them. And I don't want to be on a plane with them. for someone that doesn't actually have a car, you know, it's an adventure.
Yeah, I know.
We're only in a car. I mean, if you think about it, the other way to think about it is how many hours do you spend in a car all year, Andrew?
Well, I spend at least a half hour to an hour every day doing just normal, regular driving around. So
right. So 365 hours a year.
Yeah.
So how many days is that? Math, somebody? On me.
Divide that by 24.
On.
Yeah, a lot of time.
365 hours divided by 24. You spend 15 days minimum a year in the car. So for us, it's really kind of it's fun, right? It's not like, oh my God, we got to spend time in the car, because we don't really ever spend time in a car.
Using that subway all the time, right?
That's right. That's right. I spend 15 days in a subway, which is worse.
Yeah, I can
or more. Probably more.
Now, I will say that coming back, all of the auction sites are kicking up again, so I'm looking at all the artwork, and there's some really good stuff out there.
Oh.
Although me and my dad and my cousin went from this area down to Florida to go to Disney World one Christmas. So.
Oh yeah.
Driving, and it was pretty neat. We stopped at a few places along the way. And that's the thing; you get to stop at some unique places and all that. I know we visit like an alligator farm or whatever.
That was probably here in Florida or in Jacksonville, because we have the alligator farm right out of St. Augustine.
Yeah, I forget exactly where. I got some postcards or whatever and all that.
How do you know where to put all those little things, dude?
It comes with instructions.
And then we stopped at the NASA on our way back too.
Oh yeah, yeah. NASA's good.
The other
Cape Canaveral, yeah.
The other thing, where else did we? Oh, on our way down, we got. I think it was in Georgia. We got stopped in like a traffic jam because some tankers spilled over or something or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So we ended up having a snowball fight in the highway.
All right, guys. This is freaking gorgeous.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, let me hold on a second.
Wait, what happens to those other little pieces, dude?
What other little pieces?
Those two pieces.
All the pieces are attached.
No, the little.
Oh, this is the stand. You connect it to the top of the egg, and you use the egg itself as a display. So you can display it.
Put it together. Put the egg. So you just display the top of the egg or the whole thing?
Well, you put the whole thing together like this.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but this is slime.
I hate to say this, compared to the boy versions,
I think it's better.
This is gorgeous. I mean, I love the paint job in the tail, the pieces on the legs that make it look like the little pieces in the antlers. This is just gorgeous.
It looks like it could be one of Santa's new reindeers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is great. I think I don't know any little girl who wouldn't just die for something like this.
Or a 40-year-old man.
I'm older than that, I think. But I love this. This is fantastic. I can't. There's actually 5 in this series, and this is, for those of you out there wondering, this is number. Let me look. There's always a serial number on the bottom. Let's see. 143906. So this is 06. And this is, once again, the name of this character is Rose Stone. That's wonderful. Stone. I love it.
Rose Stone, the newest of Santa's reindeer.
Hey, yeah, there you go.
What are those 2 spots for on the top or on the shoulder blades?
You could put wing there. You could add wings to it, because all the parts that come with all the other characters are interchangeable. So you could actually, I got here's one of the boys one here. Take off his wings and you could add wings to her. She rips the wings off of the griffin and steals them for herself. Look at that. Isn't that great?
Oh yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay, hold on a second. Baron Von Tuakut says, "Sweet, you got to see the fake spacesuits." Hey, when I went to Kennedy Space Center as a kid, that was fascinating to me. I would love to have become an astronaut, but I didn't have the brains or the ability or the vision or the eyesight to be able to do it. But it's very inspiring, and sometimes being inspired by something is more valuable than whether or not you believe it.
So
isn't that what Todd? Wouldn't you say that's what comics is all about for a lot of us?
What's that?
You're reading these stories and you're looking at these fantastical stories, and you know they're not real, but sometimes some of them can inspire you. You know, inspire you to do something, to be something, or to even create your own comics. I mean, guys, you should never take a dump on somebody's idea of inspiration, you know?
I still think that 90% of the people that really loved comics were people that wanted to be comic artists or writers. Comic professional.
You know what's so funny is I always wanted to draw comics. I never once wanted to be a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever wanted to be Spider-Man or Superman or Batman. I wanted to draw and create those characters.
I'm the same way. I didn't care about the characters, really. I just wanted to draw them. That's why everyone's like, oh, who's your favorite superhero? I'm like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But if you ask me who my favorite artist is, it'll be an hour conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I get people that have come into the store, and whenever I'm talking about the comics, because they'll say, hey, do you have this? And I know right away whether or not I have it. And I tell them it's because the majority of what's in the store is from my own collection.
Yeah.
It's from what I collected. So I know exactly what I have. And they're like, really? So what's your favorite hero or supervillain or whatever comic line? And I'm like, that doesn't exist.
I tried to explain to Melissa how everything in your store, because I showed her one of your recent videos.
Yeah.
And I said, she's like, that place is huge. I was like, yeah, you see all that stuff? That's Andrew's personal collection. And she was like, I don't understand. Like she couldn't process the fact that it was like,
you know what's so sad?
Yeah, he finally has a place to hang out with his actual collection other than have it stuffed in a garage.
Here's the thing that's really sad. I recently was asking the question of whether or not I should bring a couch into the store. And the reason is because my parents just gave us a couch. So we have a couch in the living room.
That's a great idea, man.
We were originally going to put the what is that thing called that's in the bedroom, dear? What is the thing that's in the bedroom that we were originally going to put in the living room and never got it out there? It's one of those things that folds out.
A futon?
Futon, yes. We have a futon. The kids, when they left, they went out and bought their own. They bought their own new bed, or they got a new bed, and they didn't need the futon anymore. So I was thinking about taking the futon into the store. And the wife and I had the discussion that might not be a good idea, because the last thing you want to do at the flea market is have people come into your store, get comfortable, and not leave. You know, maybe. That's a very much a reality.
You're talking about a Murphy bed? Is that what you're talking about?
No, a futon. Yeah.
You're talking about fuzzy handcuffs.
I get fuzzy handcuffs. We haven't pulled those out in a long time, man. I don't know what you're talking about. But I do have people that come into the store, and they're not necessarily the kind of people you want to have staying in your store. You know, I've got the TV going, and I've got cartoons, or I've got a movie playing. If I put a couch in there, or a love seat, or a futon, there would be a lot of people that would come and get comfortable and not leave. You know what I mean?
Why don't you keep the? There's Kodiak. Why don't you put the futon behind, like kind of hidden away somewhere, so there's only like the cool people can come and hang out?
Why don't you put a big sign on the futon that says "for customer use only"?
Dillard, that page looks awesome, dude.
It's a cover he's actually working on. That's Todd. Todd from New York has said that.
Todd from New York, yeah.
Yeah.
Todd from
New York. Cover.
Hey,
New York. You covered the cover.
You doing over there? You doing good over there?
It only sucks a little bit, you know.
Only you have the southern accent that was turned New York.
As I was leaving Dillard's stream, I said, "Later, Dillard, keep up the great work." But I originally was going to say semi-mediocre work, but I didn't know how to spell mediocre, so I just put great.
Dillard wins again.
Mm-hmm.
That is a pretty cool cover, dude.
Is that your work right there? Oh, how many people? What the heck is going on here?
Are you talking to me, Kodiak?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's his work. That's a commission he's been working on.
Dude, I gotta find something negative to say about Dillard, because I just say too.
I don't know about you, but from here he stinks, man. Woo! Smells like unicorn poop.
That thing's stinking out loud. I'm telling you. No, I'm happy with the way it came out.
What's that a cover for, dude?
I already put my signature on it, so that's it. It's over. It's done.
What's the cover for?
It's one of my viewers named Neil Valentine's working on a series of books. I believe they're kind of inspired by like D&D. And this is like she's like a tinkerer, kind of like a steampunk style tinkerer.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a teenager and she's messy as hell, so her room's a mess. And
don't take this the wrong way, but that is Ethan Van Sciver level, dude. I thought that was one of his of what's her face.
Yeah, Dillard, don't take that as an insult, okay? Yeah. Like it was like it was.
It actually,
I don't feel I don't. People opinions vary, but I like.
It kind of reminds me of like it has like a. And tell me if I'm wrong, dude, but it has like to me it has a little bit of a Pat Lee flair.
Pat Lee, I don't even know who that is.
Andrew, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know who you're talking about, and I know what you're saying. From the angle we're looking at, it kind of reminds me of an Adam Polina, you know?
Oh yeah, I can see that.
See, he doesn't have any idea who we're talking
about. He has no
idea. You can pull out names out of a hat, and he would have no idea. So,
pulling out names of politicians and
Hey, just remember
former popes.
He can always go back and get the names and look them up.
It's true. It's very true.
Where did Avery go?
Adam Polina, maybe I could see Pat Lee for sure. Pat Lee was the guy who founded Udon Studios, so he had kind of brought like a anime flair into comics.
Yeah,
I've started to notice that Dillard has a very clean style. It's not a sketchy style. It's not there's not a lot of laying down the lines. He goes straight for the sharp.
Yeah, I go. I mean, it's a drawing, right? It's not gonna go. It's not gonna go into the Louvre. So I mean, just if you try to draw a circle, just draw the circle. And if it comes out a little wonky, who cares? Yeah.
All right, guys, I got to catch up on the chat real quick because D brings culture and sophistication to the live streams in his comments. He says, I don't know what's scarier, toy slime or Andrew's sausage fingers. Thank you, D. Thank you.
You know why it's my favorite.
Nighthawk Warrior says that's mean. And then Baron Von Taco Cat, which, by the way, I absolutely love that name, says that salamander is pretty sweet. Sweet. You get to see the fake spacesuits. LMAO, Taco Cat says, I want to be an astronaut too, yo. Too bad space is fake and gay. I don't know about that, but okay.
I agree 100%.
And he says, that's what I'm doing too. And then he says, love sci-fi. And then he lists out some artist names, which I think is pretty interesting. Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, EVS, Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, Greg Capullo, Mobius, and Kim Jung-ji. Now, more than almost 80% of those names are all image people, which means Baron Von Taco Cat, you need to get out more often, man.
However, Baron Von Taco Cat's a fake geek because I know all those names and I don't even like comics.
And he says, and he says, LOL, and he says, put up a sign that says no frickin', and then he spelled out mediocre for me. Thank you very much. I will try to write.
I think he's just calling you mediocre.
Oh,
what about Dillard? What about Bengal?
Never heard of him.
I love.
Hey, no, I don't feel bad. I didn't know names until Avery and Andrew.
I love his work on his creator-owned thing through what's his name?
It's not the. I always want to call it Fast and the Furious, but it's
like Fast and Furious, but it's got a chick as the main character, and it's Death or Glory or something. Glory or Death or something.
Glory,
like.
Yeah.
The character's name's Glory, so that's
pull it up. Show him.
No, I've seen pictures of Glory. That's
show him a cover.
Todd,
do you know
who Sam Lou is or Louis?
Yeah.
See, they didn't know who that is. I kind of like his style. It's almost a work.
He's good. They don't know because he's more indie.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, is he? No, you see, like what I did was like he was like, hey, I want this girl. You know, she's doing stuff on the table. She's tinkering or whatever. Maybe she's on the floor. I don't know. I did a couple of SketchUps, but then I was like, I told my niece like sit on this stool, and I was walking around with my phone like let me find a good angle, and so this is the angle that I ended up with right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, this
nice
is
reference.
Looks perfect. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I went for. I don't. Now again, I mean, my style is very heavily influenced by almost everybody. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Well, Baron Von Taco Cat says, "Nice art, Dillard. I like steampunk tinkerers. Has an Aphrodite X or 1X vibe to me. Just be homey. just me, homie, ha ha ha, and says, "Yeah, Image
represent.
Learn
Yes,
to read.
I'm working on it.
He's so bad at it, right?
God, guys, I'm taking Reading 101 from that online college, and I keep forgetting to go to class." Evan says, "Hi, Senor Crappy Pants." Not sure who he's talking to.
He thought he was taking reading, but he couldn't read the syllabus. It's actually had to grow 2 inches.
I like how Andrew takes all of the human emotion out of what people write.
Taco Cat says only comic people know Capullo, yo. It says she is inventing a new sex toy. I guess that's what she's talking about.
Wait, is that true? Only people around a sphere of comic books would know who Greg Capullo is.
I don't think so. I've heard of Capullo before I joined CG.
Yeah. Well, there's some artists
knew of comics. I mean, you had to learn your art from somewhere.
Well, you have to. There are very few, and you could probably call them out on and make it, count them out on your hands. There's very few comic artists that the general public is aware of. The general public knows Alex Ross. The general public knows Jose Luis Garcia Lopez.
No, they don't.
Yes, nobody. Yes. What are you talking about? The general public knows Jose Garcia Lopez.
The general public knows Jim Lee. They know Rob Liefeld.
Yes.
And that's about it.
I grew up with a comic book collector.
They barely know McFarlane.
And did not know who Jose was until later.
There are baseball fans that know who Todd McFarlane is.
No, I'm a typical. I grew up.
There are toy collectors that know who Todd McFarlane is.
Grew up a typical '90s kid who was like Todd McFarlane, Liefeld, and then Stan Lee, and yes, the dude that.
Oh yes, they also know Steve Ditko just because of the Stan Lee Steve Ditko always being in the same sentence.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe some Frazettas. They might know some Boris's, but those are kind of big stick.
They know them, but they don't know the names. They just know the images.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're giving the general public way too much credit.
I'm trying to think. You know what's so funny is when they originally announced Ben Affleck was playing Batman.
Batfleck.
I said.
This is Ahmed says, "Hey Andrew, how's it going? I just got out of the shower."
Oh, good God, Ahmed. Jeez. I said that was a brilliant move, and the reason is because. When I asked my mom, I said, "Mom, do you know who's playing the new Batman?" She said, "Yeah, Ben Affleck." I said, "What do you know him from?" She goes, "I know him from, oh my God, what was the name of that movie? The one that he was in where the one where they were rescuing the people that were, stop. The one that, God, it was his big, one of his big major breakout roles.
You're talking about the
regarding Will or something like that?
No. The one where he went behind enemy lines and helped rescue the people and they got him out, pretending to be a film crew and so forth. My mother knew nothing about the Justice League movie, but she knew Ben Affleck was playing Batman, and she knew Ben Affleck from.
There you go. Argo, says Evan.
Argo, that's right. Thank you, Evan. I'm so glad you're all here.
Yeah. Good Will Hunting. Most people know him from Good Will Hunting, though.
Most people do, but my mother knew him from Argo because she thought that was a fantastic movie. But when I said, "Hey, guess who's playing the new Batman?" she knew exactly who it was and knew the reference, and it was a genius move to cast him in that role because he was known by wider groups of people who knew nothing about comics. Okay, but I've got a point I'm making here. Okay?
Yeah, I hope. Yeah.
There are comic book artists that nobody knows anything about. You could go and how you test that theory is go ask your mother if she is familiar.
I was trying to approve that message and somebody got it before me.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I'm making a statement, making a point. Stop laughing at me, Kodiak.
No, I'm not. I forgot what I was.
No, I was just gonna say. Some people say the only one that they know for artists is Stan Lee, but Stan Lee's not an artist.
Stan Lee isn't an artist. Yeah. Oh, I keep forgetting to post that travel thing.
Stan Lee isn't. You're not an artist, Rig.
Stan Lee's a writer.
Stan Lee's an artist.
He's an artiste.
How dare you talk bad about Stan Lee? Stan Lee is dead, Rick Piper.
I was going to say he's 6 feet under right now. regrettably, but yeah, you know.
Ben Affleck is in one of my favorite movies, but I don't know if it holds up. The Sum of All Fears. Yeah. Atomic bomb blew up in the kablooey.
Yeah, D says the general public only knows Stan Lee, which is very true. Oh, I don't know. Did you ever watch that?
But they know people like Liefeld and McFarlane.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't. They really don't.
My sister knows who Liefeld is. Because Deadpool, and then McFarlane toys, of course.
Nobody knows Rob Liefeld because of Deadpool. Please.
Liefeld is a big name. People easily know who Liefeld is.
Honey, do you know who Rob Liefeld is?
Say his name right. Liefeld. Liefeld.
You know who Rob Liefeld is? She has no idea. Are you familiar with Deadpool? Maybe. Oh, come on, dear. You're letting me down here. Just say yes. You're familiar with Deadpool. She says, sure, yeah.
Doesn't count.
What about Jim Lee? Is he common knowledge?
Do you know who Jim Lee is? Stan Lee's son? You know who he is, right? Just kidding.
He's made.
You're a douche.
Before.
Yeah, I know. But and this also is good for comic book art, by the way, guys. If you are writing or drawing or laying out a story, you need to go to somebody who knows nothing about comics. You need to show them the page and say, tell me what's happening on this page. And if they can understand it and get what's happening without reading dialogue and just looking at the page, you've succeeded. I used to do that a lot with my art. I would take it to the wife and I'd say, honey, what's happening on this page? And if she was able to
what my wife
give me a general idea, I knew I had done a good job.
She says, comic booky stuff. I'm like, thanks for the help, lady.
Yeah. All right.
I got a couple things to show you.
Hold on a second. Let me finish reading the chat real quick.
You mean start reading the chat?
Brian, shut up, Dillard. Then Taco Cat says Goodwill Hunting after Evan said Argo. Evan says read the chat.
All just says, thanks, Dillard. Ben Affleck was not in.
Taco Cat says Argo F yourself. You beat me. He was referring to Evan says you're my favorite. I left Argo F yourself in because it's relevant to the film. Sure. Baron says Evan D. Gas,
it's supposed to be some sort of emoji.
Oh, okay. Ahmed says, did I miss the comic book pickups? Ahmed, you know what time we start. And the comic book stuff usually happens right after that. So, yeah, you missed it, man. But don't worry.
You don't have to take that from him. Don't take.
Why are you yelling at your viewers?
Yeah.
I'm not yelling at him.
Don't take that from Andrew.
Evan says all DC movies suck.
Evan, you ain't never
Taco Cat says people probably know Todd McFarlane. Yeah. Taco Cat says heist one, huh? I like the old Batman movies, yo. Evan says me too. Ocean's 11. He was in that. No, I think Casey was in it. Yes, that's true. Marvel movies are greater than DC. Yeah, I'd have to argue that.
What would you have to argue that with, though? You would be wrong.
Ahmed says, when I came back from Puerto Rico, I will buy more of your Batman comics. Okay. Evan says it was The Town, which was a good one. Don't think I saw it. It is good. Mallet says I'm leaving. Sorry. Bye, Mallet. See you next time. Evan says Argo F to yourself is a quote from the film, Andrew. Get cultured. Oh, my God. It was pretty good. Okay.
You're asking somebody that fingers like slime eggs for fun to get cultured. Just saying.
Yeah, that is true. But
I saw Kodiak's face.
We can have this discussion at a later time.
Say something.
We can have this discussion at a later time, but the idea that DC movies all suck is completely 100%
Nobody said that.
Inaccurate.
Nobody said that. You're straw manning.
No. Actually, I'm going to go back. There was a quote in here, and I read it, and you agree. Evan says all DC movies suck, and you agreed with him.
No, it just says Marvel movies are greater than DC. Oh, no, that's Barron's.
Barron says, what does DC have besides Batman that was good? Wonder Woman was fantastic. Aquaman was thoroughly entertaining.
You're a homosexual.
I still think Man of Steel was great. I think Man of Steel was a great movie, no matter what you all think.
Most of their animated films are good nowadays, DZ.
Avery would argue.
Oh yes, Marvel animation is hot trash compared to any DC animation.
That's true. Right here, let me show you this real quick.
All right, you're gonna show us something.
Yeah.
Well, of course, don't watch The Ray if you don't want a 2-hour lecture about sexuality. The Ray
doesn't want a 2-hour.
Really? Sexuality. I never did see it because they didn't put it in the steelbook case.
Yeah, I was in the other room listening. I'm like, what are y'all watching? And it was like a 5-minute, okay, not a 2-hour lecture, but it was like literally a lecture. He was giving a lecture about sexuality. And I'm like,
was he pro or negative?
I don't know. I mean,
pro or con?
He's pro-sexuality.
He's pro sexuality too.
Like DC,
my fucking kid's cartoon, you know.
This was based on the Arrowverse after they had the thing with the Earth X where the Soviets and all that. So homosexuality was against the law, and he was a homosexual.
Okay, well, to answer Evan's question, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Man of Steel.
Shazam.
Those are 3 good. Well, Shazam was very entertaining. I would put it up there with the better ones. You know, Shazam was right up there with like Ant-Man and Doctor Strange in entertainment. You know.
So what the hell is up with Florida? I just had isn't it like January? I just had a snake come in my I have to leave my door open because it's like 80 degrees, and then a snake came in. My cat's all like bringing it in. I'm like, is that freaking thing poisonous? What the? Why, Andrew? Why are you letting Florida do this to me?
I don't know why.
Touching me in all the unclean places. I don't know. Where did Avery go? I come back and Avery's gone.
Avery was here.
He had to go to bed. He has to work in the morning.
Are you guys Evan says Adam Hughes?
Evan says also stop making things up, Andrew. They were all awful. Ah.
Are we looking at the? Are we looking?
Aquaman, but I hate all current. I'm so sorry, Todd. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. So Todd is sharing with us items that are currently up for auction. Which site is this, by the way?
Well, this one was Comic Link. I was only going to show the Heritage stuff, but I guess I could go through all of it.
You can't show that. That's racist. You can't
Black
show
Canary?
that. Yeah. That's racist.
Isn't Black Canary going to be in the new not Suicide Squad, the new Harley Quinn movie?
Yeah, and of course,
and she doesn't look anything like that.
Yeah. Nothing.
This is awesome. That's a gorgeous Adam Hughes.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, Adam Hughes is the man. Last
time I checked, he was a man. Yes. Oh, Trent Kanuga.
I thought Adam Hughes was a director.
Yeah, I was never seen an original page from Creed before, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to read that.
He'd be influenced by McFarlane, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I could definitely.
Well, who wasn't back in that day? That's very nice.
I thought maybe McFarlane was. I thought it was the other way around. Maybe that was an older piece because it was all yellowed. What is that?
Oh, Just Imagine Batman. That's a Joe Kubert.
Joe Kubert. That's a
nice,
Joe Kubert. And Stan
Lee. Stan Lee wrote this stuff.
Yep.
Reimagining Batman. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I have that comic actually.
So this is interesting. There's some pieces that are up right now. I'm really curious to see like how they do because they're not as valuable as the original pages.
Right.
So what this is, these are the Dark Knight color approval sheet. Okay,
not original art. Yep.
Not original. These are it's the production sheet, but it's huge.
Worthless.
It's the actual fold out sheet. Right,
bind.
So these are the actual colors printed of the original art to get Frank Miller's final approval, right? So it's not signed or anything, but I think, I think this would be one of those things.
Wait, is that notes on it? Go scroll down.
Yeah. So there's notes on it, but it's also there's a sticker that says "Okay, final" because it's not, it's just used for production. But this would be the kind of thing. I don't know the size of this. It's not small. It's 14 by 21.5 inches. So to me, this would be the kind of thing that if I was to purchase, I would take to Frank Miller at, say,
Rick Piper. You collect comic stuff. Would you buy that?
Who?
Rick Piper.
Do you collect original art?
Not much.
Okay.
I can't afford it.
Would you buy this?
Well, see, Todd
maybe if it was cheap enough.
Todd and I both collect original art. I would not purchase this because this isn't something I'd be in, but this is something that Todd feels is like production history, you know, production, how it's done.
Yeah, I get
it's more in depth than just not only just having an original piece of art. It's more of how a comic is actually made. You know?
Yeah, I get into this stuff, and for me, and there's a couple of production things. Oddly, the stuff usually doesn't come up, so that's why I'm curious about it. And like I said, for me, this is a poster, essentially a one of a kind poster, a print. But if you could get Frank to sign it, it would be pretty badass to have on your wall, right?
Yeah. That would be cool.
What's the size of it exactly?
14 by 21.5.
So it's just a little bit larger than a 11 by 17 comic page. So
yeah.
So it's
what's the current bid on that? Looking
56.
At?
It's really. I mean, it's $56. But that's going to go up. I mean, it's not until February, and
yeah, I personally, if I had the money to burn, I probably wouldn't pay more than like maybe $100.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
So
I was just curious.
Oh, that looks sweet.
That's badass. That's awesome, isn't it?
Steve Root original from Nexus. Doesn't have
Nexus
at the
height of his powers. That is from number 39 in 1987.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's pretty cool.
That there is a
Andrew,
Silvestri, right? Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Wolverine number 57.
Thought that Jubilee looked familiar. I was like, man, that's the way I remember.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The sad thing about a lot of the art from this period
actually looked like she could have been an Asian kid.
It's missing word balloons.
A lot of this work, dude. I've been looking at Silvestri stuff now for a while from this era, from the Uncanny X-Men stuff and the Wolverine stuff. Most of it, I don't know who was doing the paste up stuff, but they did a horrible job because most of it fell off.
Oh, that sucks.
Across, I mean, we're talking like it was across. I mean, the industry must have been using a specific type of gum adhesive for the word balloons because it's Silvestri, it's John Buscema's Wolverine run.
Weren't they using like glue sticks back then?
Probably something stupid.
Yeah, that's just something that was going to absolutely stain the art.
Ooh, Mark Texiera.
Oh yeah, nice. Mark Texiera.
I like that.
That's pretty dope, right?
That is pretty dope.
It's
all that black on that page. Oh,
yeah.
Oh. God, it's so beautiful.
Oh, Bruce Timm doing Savage Dragon. Very nice.
That's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
He's such a good artist. He's got so much energy.
What's sketched out below it? Just
someone fighting something.
It looks like somebody.
Looks like it was maybe for a cover that just didn't get turned into something else.
I always felt like it was a crime that he wasn't a starving artist that needed to perform and draw books that he didn't.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, you just said it was a crime this guy wasn't starving.
Yeah.
No, that way you could get his art for cheap, you know, right? Yeah. No, I'm fairly certain Bruce Timm knows the value of his art because I've seen some pieces up for auction, and
he's never been forced to have to sit there and do a whole book and get book.
Yeah, but he's done whole books. He did Mad Love, and he's done a lot of stuff.
I thought that was inspired, but I thought that was inspired by him, his art.
No. Mad Love was all Bruce Timm.
Okay.
No, he's done a couple complete books.
Yep.
Right.
But he hasn't been. You're right. He hasn't done like big ass runs.
He recently did. There was a Harley Loves Joker limited series. The interior art was by Brent Blevins. The backup story was by Bruce Timm. But you're talking 4 to 6 pages an issue. It was like a 4-issue limited series. So yeah, I mean he's still doing stuff, but I don't think he's doing any major work. So
Now, is this the old school way they colored things, or what?
Yeah. So this is really interesting. So this is Glynis Wine. She was at the time she was Len Wine's wife. I know her more by Glynis Oliver or Olivier. I don't know how you pronounce the last name, but she is, in my opinion, the best colorist of all time. And she was the one who did all, like, if you look at the classic John Buscema Wolverine run, like the first 30 issues, with the red, like it's a John Buscema Wolverine, and there's like a flat red background for no reason, but it makes the image look cooler. You know what I mean? She did all of that. So she was someone who was like, the background, the colors weren't necessarily meant to be like what they are now, which is like everything's realistic lighting, realistic with this. She really was a color theorist. So this is just interesting. I mean, I don't expect these to go for much. This one has a rip on it, but a couple.
But if you really think about it, that's just flats.
Right. Like, look at that. That's really freaking cool. Right. That's really cool. And these are all done with watercolors and stuff. And she's marking off the colors for the.
That's not an actual comic though, because the size. Yeah, well, no, I mean, but it's not like 11 by 17. It's
right. Well, I don't know. I think I don't know what size. It was for. It might have been. She might have taken it might have been. You have to think about production. So what I think this is she was doing this at full size, and only had 11 by 8.5 by 11 paper. So she just split it, right? So like that's the top of the page, that's the bottom of the page, or something like that. Right.
Oh, if I had the money, I would definitely, all these process ones. I'm fascinated by that. Yeah.
Me too. Like, I look at those colors, dude. Like, that's like really
just the fact
good.
That she wrote in
look
there.
How balanced that is.
She knew exactly to tell them, hey, make sure you don't mess this up and get the right color in there.
Look at that one. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Same her? Is that her?
Yes, her. Yeah.
Oh, look. Oh man, I like that. Yeah.
That's gorgeous, right? And again, this is not something that's going to be worth like a lot of money, but it's like, it's so interesting. I mean, that's, hand painted. It's pretty cool. This one I love. Look at that second panel with the blue.
That is nice.
That's what I'm talking about. Like that, you don't see that anymore. And that's what comics is about. It's like, it's not about realism and color. It's about getting atmosphere.
You know what I think would be really interesting to see these side by side with actually the printed comic page.
Yeah.
Because there's hues in there that you probably do not see on the comic.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Which if they use this for the comic, it would be fantastic.
It actually makes me think, like, as I move forward with my own production stuff, is like there's no reason not to use these techniques for yourself. Like, even if you were going to end up do like Photoshop or whatever, like to do your mock-ups to old school, to get the color. Like, if I had this hand painted, it would just give me so much more information and so much more.
But if you was going to have to pay somebody to do that anymore, it's going to be an arm and a leg. Nobody does that anymore.
Probably.
Baron Von Taco Cat says, nah, the best colorist is Kyle Ritter. Duh. Yeah, but he says those are really nice colors. Yeah.
We don't know what he does with this kind of thing. Can he?
Yeah, well, that's all. That's just the new. It's the modern thing.
Yeah,
It's a different style. There's certainly, open for different styles. But what I miss a lot of the time is the atmosphere of the coloring. Not so much like there's no reason this wall back here needs to be orange. Like that's not has nothing to do with the reality of the shot. It's purely there to make Iceman stand out and to make these other characters.
Right.
Kind of pop like that. That's
how much of this was straight rock and roll. It was straight mess up. Somebody messed.
Well,
you don't mess up anymore with digital. You don't come up with this happy. Oh, I like that. What?
Right.
I accidentally did that. I have to stay with it now. So
yeah.
There's a.
I like this kind of stuff. I don't know. And in fact, I think there's a couple more here. Oh, look at that.
Oh man, where's Avery?
Oh, this is Keith Giffen's colored pages.
That's right.
Did he color himself, or who's credited with that one?
That's Keith Giffen.
Was he planning out a battle on a battlefield? What? Look at all the notes.
Colors pulled out, dude.
Oh,
that's crayon. or color pencil, and he's just look at all the color listings.
That's insane.
No, that's too much like work for me.
It's the entire issue, Andrew.
Oh, really?
It's the entire issue.
Wow.
I bet the colors hated him a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Or
Isn't
maybe this
awesome?
kind of did. I don't know. Maybe the fact that he pulled them out and he wrote them all down made their job easier. Who knows?
Did you ever hear the story? We have a mutual friend who was really big into the comic series 52 from DC. And there were certain pages that he wanted from that series that he bought. He actually has one whole issue of art, but he came across one of the colorists had the color guides, and he bought the entire series color guides for 52. You remember that, Todd? That was at one of the New Yorks we were at, where he was thrilled to get it too.
Yeah, I remember being jealous. It looks like I'm just looking at the Glynis stuff. Like this looks like it was colored directly on the paper, and this looks like it's actually like an overlay. Like there's an acetate overlay over it.
Right?
Well, no, there's
talking Greek again.
I think there's too many. There's it's like a transparency.
It's a transparency. It's the inks. The inks are on a transparency, and she painted under it.
Right.
That's pretty awesome.
So
something
right, show
like,
something else.
Something like that might be really cool as like a. I don't know. All right. We saw that. There's another one.
Okay. That's just way too many notes, man. That's insane.
Dude, that's insane. Look at
like
that.
I said, too much like work. This is like
it's not you turn something like that in, you gotta be like, dude, it's a freaking comic book. Calm down.
Look at that, dude. It's like, Keith Giffen is nuts, man.
Yeah, but see, guys, that's the way they did it back in the day, you know?
Yeah. So this is interesting. This is also something I'm really interested in. So this is a photocopy of New Gods. It's just a photocopy, but this came from Kirby's personal collection. So his grandson like verified it. Right. So it's because what Kirby did, and I'm curious about this because I actually have a collection of some
smell
of these.
foul.
No, I actually have a collection
You
of some
certainly
of these.
do.
Where it's because Kirby, what he would do is he was giving away his work and he didn't have any copies of any of it. So he started to photocopy his work so he could have, that's how we used to do it. It's like you make a photocopy so you have a copy of it.
Yeah.
So again, it's just a photocopy, but it's Jack Kirby's photocopy. It's not just like some random copy. It's like verified.
It was actually touched by the god.
Yeah, I mean, it was his personal collection. It was his personal collection, right?
Right.
That I mean, again, I don't think any of this stuff is going to go for gangbusters, but I'm interested to see what it goes for.
Yeah.
This is another Glynis wine. Like that's pretty awesome. Like look at that green, dude.
Yeah, I've seen that comic. I've seen that original. It doesn't look anything as bright as that does.
Yeah, so she just knew the paper. I mean, but it's like I said, it's the color, like the pinks and the greens and the purple background. Like that's color. She's a color theorist. Like that's just pure color theory, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Now, why would she color his arm purple?
Well, I think he's wearing a shirt. You can't see the rib. There's a little ridge there. But yeah, it's weird because down here it isn't.
Color theorist anything like a conspiracy theorist?
It's exactly like a conspiracy theorist.
I feel like it would be the.
All right, let's see what else you got.
Of the art field.
So this is more production stuff. This is the cover printing plate.
Oh wow, that's also Keith Giffen, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Every time I hear you talk, I find out something I don't know, Todd. Like, what the hell is the cover?
Oh wow, that's awesome.
This is a separation.
Daddy.
These are the separation negatives. So that's an overlay, right, of the ink,
and
underneath is the actual, the print, the color. Isn't that cool?
Hey,
does it show a picture of just the color part?
I don't think so. I wish it did.
I could get Chuck to sign that for me.
But isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is cool.
And that's like one of my all-time favorite. Like I love this cover, dude.
Yeah, Brian Boland kicks butt, man.
Yeah,
dude, I was hot on Robin back then.
Isn't that cool? I thought this was awesome. A lot of production stuff today, and this is interesting as well because I actually have some of these for Jack Kirby, the printing plates. What these guys is they have the printing plate and then they took the comic and put it right next to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. They're kind of like, oh look, it's the this is what it turned out to be, and this is the original the photo negative, more or less.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Again, nothing crazy. And then so I'll show you. So so on Heritage, someone's put damn it. On Heritage, somebody must be kind of splitting their checks here, and I've been watching this stuff for a while and I've never seen this stuff pop up so much. You know what I mean? So it's another one of the okay final color things.
I wonder how much of that's Lynn Varley's.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then this will interest you.
Oh wow, an original Mike Ringo. That's a nice page.
Right?
It's a very nice page.
You know, I'm curious about how this goes.
Yeah.
Right? And now this is the one where I'm like, I don't know. I kind of want this one.
Alex Toth.
You know it.
Yeah.
But check this out. Watch this page. Ready?
How did you say that before he even turned to it?
Well, when he highlighted it, the name came up and I saw it.
Okay, watch this. So look at all the shadow and the detail. Look at that shadow across the guy's face.
Yep.
Right. Look at this, dude. Can you see all that detail?
Well, there's a lot in there.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, very nice.
And then like look at all the people in the background and just the features. And
hey, is that Cyclops in the background?
It might be. It should be. And look, he's even like he takes off his hat, like he's like saying hello, and he takes off the hat and he picks up her hand. Like that is some complex.
And all the while making room for the balloons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude.
Which were, as you can tell, were written on the page. So
yeah. So this is not going to be.
That's a gorgeous page.
It's gorgeous. There's no way in God's green earth it's going to be in my budget.
What's the publishing date of that? When was it done?
Question.
It was
as a kid when you came across a page like that. Was you as excited as you are now?
No.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
1971.
Wow.
And this is like.
Do we appreciate that as much?
This was like his height. This was the height of his power, the height of his strength. Like after this was probably the peak.
Well, the 70s, that's when all the cartoons were coming out. That's when he was doing the designs for so much stuff.
Yeah. Just so much. Everything is so. There's so much. There's so much life in the drawings. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So much life in it, and like just even up here, like these faces and like the difference between panel 2 and panel 1, and he tosses the guy out of a plane, and you can kind of see him back there flying out of the warplane.
Yep. You don't necessarily need to see the action, but you can follow it still.
Yeah, it's just incredible. I've seen, I don't know, for some reason, Alex Toth stuff, the time to get it apparently was 2011, because now it's like, it's shot up. So I don't know how much it's going to go for, but I don't think it's going to be something I can do, but I'm going to try.
All right. Well, very cool. I appreciate you sharing with us again.
That's what I got.
We haven't done a Todd sharing in a while, so
yeah, man, I wanted to
now that you're home, it makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it?
It does.
All right, well, guys,
have you ever noticed how the buckler looks a little bit like John Dillard?
Just the hair, He's a little less muscular in the face, but
yeah. He definitely has a Brian Bolin type of detail in him, Brian Bolin is a very famous British artist, John. He's well known for stuff like the Killing Joke and Camelot 3000, in case you're not familiar with him. and I'm here for you, man.
Is there a reason you're talking like a woman when you go into your explanation?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm. It's like talking to a child. That's what I'm going for.
It certainly is. Hey, that Mike Ringo page had been, that same one had been on Heritage before. In 2017. So that Telos page sold previously for about $406.
Oh crap! I gotta go. Love you guys.
Where you going?
I gotta go cook dinner. It's fucking 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it is 10 o'clock. Get out of here.
It's 10 o'clock, and like we haven't even asked Rick Piper how's his like campaign doing or nothing.
Yeah, we did. I did a whole interview thing with him.
Yeah, it's been like an hour and a half looking at old people's artwork.
D says he's not as fat as Dillard. I guess he's talking about the buckler there.
Oh, D, you're gonna take that from D? Dillard?
Yeah, he's gonna take it.
D
he's gonna
hates
take
me.
it. He's gonna take it.
He loves all things, and he hates me.
That's right. Whereas I love all things, and I love Dillard. I think he's awesome. All right, everybody. Guys, the Hero Hour went for 2 hours, but we had a good time, so I appreciate everybody coming by and visiting.
Wait, where's Cross's thing at? Where is it at? What is it at?
I'm at $275 at the moment.
Yeah.
$275 and kicking.
Train, keep rolling on down. What?
Well, that's the last time I checked, which was about 10 minutes ago. But let's refresh.
You come to this live stream for Andrew's cringe, Rick's puns, and Kodiak singing. Todd, Dillard, you guys need to bring more to the show.
I thought Todd brought the art, the auctions.
Yeah,
that's true. Dylan that's not bringing anything.
That's
it's
right.
Rick and Dylan.
All right.
The only ones actually drawing books.
yeah. Well, hey, I did a drawing earlier. Punk.
Well, I wasn't here. I ran off.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out the show. We'll see you all on Monday, and we will be on time on Monday. We will be raring and ready to go. And if Kodiak's not here to sing for you, I will sing for you. That is a guarantee.
No, it's not.
What would you do if I sang out of tune?
You never close your eyes anymore. On that.